Have you ever wondered what retirement actually feels like? Are you thinking about early retiring or even maybe you've already retired? You might relate to some of these five surprising things that I found when I retired early. I mean, they completely caught me off guard. And the first one, I had no idea how much my social circles were going to change. And if you think about it, when you're at work, say 8 to 10 hours, depending on your shifts, some people work 12 hours, you socialize with your coworkers. You go to coffee or you eat lunch together. You're talking about family together, all kinds of things. And that is your social circle. And when you retire, you don't realize, or at least I didn't, how much I was going to miss that and the camaraderie that I had with my coworkers. I was used to eating lunch with them every single day, and suddenly I'm not working and they are working, and there were sometimes when we would get together for lunch, but many times they're busy and they can't meet with you. And it was an odd, very odd thing thing for me to get used to, having that day-to-day contact with friends, and I consider my coworkers my friends. And the second thing is that your spouse or significant other may have a scheduling conflict when you retire. Maybe your spouse or significant other has not retired and they're still working. So now you have all this free time and they still have to go to work like like usual. Or in my case, my husband had retired 3 years before I did, and he had developed a routine. So when I retired, suddenly I have all this free time. I'm trying to figure out what I wanna do, and it was kind of impeding on his space. He had developed a routine that he was comfortable in, and having me home all the time kind of put a damper on that. So you learn to have to work that out, but that is an adjustment, one that I did not take into account. The third one was that I you lose structure. I I didn't really realize this until I retired, and it wasn't right away because when you first retire, you it's kind of the novelty of it all. But when you work, you have structure. You have a certain time you wake up every day. You have you go to work at a certain time, you eat lunch at a certain time, you come home at a certain time, and it really your work life provides the structure for your personal life, and I had never realized that, and that came as a shock because now you got all kinds of free time, and in some ways that's good, and in some ways that's not good because it's easy to say, "I'm gonna sleep in today," or I'll get to things I had wanted to get to in retirement, and you don't get to it, and that took a while to try and get used to. And the fourth thing, I this one is the one that really surprised me, is you suddenly become available to everybody. So all these people who know you retired start calling you up or texting or emailing and asking you to do things. And the minute you say, I'm sorry, I'm not able to do that, they're like, oh, but you're retired. Well, it doesn't mean you become their personal errand runner. And there's some boundaries that needed to be made because it is easy, and I found that out for friends and family to start taking advantage of the fact that you are suddenly not working. So they want to give you all these tasks and errands and babysitting and this and that. I mean, the list can go on. Some of it's okay, but they need to respect your time. And I did have to talk to it was just a few in my case. that I had to talk to and say, "Look, yes, I'm retired, but that doesn't mean that I'm at your beck and call all the time to run errands and do different things. Now we can try and schedule something and I can help you, but it can't be on a whim every day." And it sounds kind of harsh, but you think about it, people can become demanding, especially family can become demanding, and they just assume you now are available to them 24/7, and that's just not the case. And the fifth one, I thought about it, and the the best way to put it is retirement is not a permanent vacation. I have heard that said many times. But if you think about when you've been on vacation, especially if you go on vacation for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even some people have gone away for a month. For me, I am ready to get home, and I am ready to get back to my routine. Well, suddenly in retirement, it feels like a perm vacation, but you don't have anything to go to because your job is not there. That is why it's super important. I feel, and it made a big difference in my life to find other projects, volunteering. If you don't want to work at all, sometimes people get part-time jobs, volunteering, something that can bring a little bit more structure back into your day-to-day life can help a lot, and it gets you out of that vacation mode. I find it really helpful. If you are retired, I would love to know in the comments below what you found surprising after you retired. And if you haven't retired yet, but you're thinking about it, let me know what what do you think or what do you expect is going to be something that's going to surprise you in retirement. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. If you haven't checked it out, check out my other video, The Biggest Lie I Found About Early Retirement. I'll catch you in the next video.